Now we shall understand what the Bytello class is. Bytello class is a cloud-based application which allows users or the teachers to create a more dynamic, creative and interactive content using the images, text, videos, transition effects along with the subjective tools like graph, periodic table elements and mathematical formulas and so on. Since we are creating this content in a cloud-based application, it doesn't consume any of the storage of the hardware, that is IFPD, and teachers can fetch this information or the files through the IFPD through a single QR code login. They doesn't need to carry any pen drives or the laptops for the data sharing. Now we're going to learn how to create a Bytello account and how to create a content using the Bytello platform. And how to make a login into the Bytello account and how to create the content using the Bytello platform. For that, let's go to the Bytello account, go to the browser, click on Bytello class. Click on this website. Now here we are able to see by experience now download. You can download and you can create the content, or we'll go to experience now here and we'll make login. But before that, to set up we need to sign up. For that purpose we need to create a one. Here you need to put your email IDs, password, region, birth date and year, and once you verify you are ready to go. Since we have already created our account, we'll make a login. We'll be putting up the password. Login. Here this is a home page. Connect. Now through this Bytello class we can connect this laptop into the IFPD, so whatever happening on this laptop, it will be visible in the IFPD. First we will understand how to create the content, right? So we'll go to the library section. We can see activities and the slides. So let's click on the slides. Here already we can see the contents which has been created. If you want to create a new content, we can directly create from here. If there are already created files, let's say we have a PPT files which are already made, we can import from here and they will be getting imported here. And you can make a folder and you can set them separately as well. So click on folder, click on create the file. Here we have come to the new fresh page, and if you want a multiple pages, click on new page. We have added multiple pages. Let's set the background. Here property animations we're gonna see, so let's set the background to green one. This is very much light. Okay, so you can set differently for different, and if you want to apply, we have applied only to the 5th page, but if you want to apply this to all the pages, let's click on the apply to all pages. Okay, it will be getting added to all the pages. And if you want to add the pictures as a background, you can choose from the local as well, or from more, it will take us to the storage. Here we can fetch from the templates. Okay, if you want to fetch from here, we can fetch and we'll apply to all the pages. Once we apply, it will get applied to all the pages. And on the top we can see text. So let's click on the text and type something. Once we are getting this text box, we can change the fonts. Let's keep it to Arial black and increase the font size to 48. Then color we can select here. Let's select this to black so that it can appear in a good manner, because the background is light. We'll set the fonts to a dark color and you can align them in a center. So let's let's type welcome to the class. We can align this center, we can move this wherever the okay, we have moved it to center. So this is the first page, right? This is supposed to be a first page. We'll move to the first page. Now we are done. Let's go to the second page. In the second page, we want to add something related to the content which we're gonna teach. So let's talk about the magnet, right? So magnet, for that reason, we'll go to the media section. We can import the images from the local storage, or we can get it from online, or we can get an online video as well, right? So we'll click on online pictures if you want and search for a magnet. Let's say magnet. Okay, so the compass has appeared. So magnetic compass also we like to see, so we'll put it here. Then we'll import an image from our device as well. So desktop, search like magnet if we have. Okay, downloads, let's search here if there is something. Okay, we have got it here. We'll import this. We'll be able to import the images as well. So similarly, if you want to add a different shapes, right? So the magnet comes in different shapes, right? The bar magnet, let's say I want to draw a bar magnet, so I can draw this and I can change the color. Let's change it to black. So this is a I'm sorry, a bar magnet. We can move this, or we can change this to black, and we'll add one more shape. We'll reduce the size of this. Okay, sorry, I just dropped it. Okay, we have readjusted. Like you can mark with the north and south pole. So this is how we can make use of the shapes in a different manner. And similarly, media, we can add an online video. Once we've created this content and once we fetch this file in the IFPD through the Bytello class, videos can be played without the YouTube ads. For that, what we need to do is that click on online video and we need to paste the URL. So let's go to the YouTube. Okay, let's search for magnetism. So this is a video related to magnetism. Okay, we can fetch this URL and we're gonna copy this and we're gonna paste this here. We have pasted this. The video has been inserted. You can see the video has been added here. Okay, now similarly we can add the tables, the 2x2 table if you want, 3x3 cross, 4x4, 4x5 or 5x3, any kind of table you can put. Let's say it's 6x4. Let's click on this. Okay, a table has been inserted. We can change these colors, right? If you want a dark borders, we can change them. Let's change the frame color to black, and we can change the thickness. If you want a more thicker, we can change the thickness as well, right? So this is how we can add the tables, and we can put the numbers or wherever it requires, right? So we can use this table. Then coming to the next thing, the mind map. In the mind map, we can create a horizontal tree structure or vertical tree structure. So let's make a vertical tree structure. Here let's say we are explaining the tenses, right? The types of tenses. Oh, sorry, mind map. Click on this. Okay, like tenses I will type, and here there are three types of tenses we know. We'll add one more. We'll delete all this. Okay. So third one is the future, first one is the present, second is the past. Now again there are four types in each of them, right? For that I can further continue the tree structure, and similarly we can add up for the past and the future as well. Now we require one more page. For that reason we'll click on the sixth page, take on the subjects. If you want to insert any formula into this chapter, or sorry, in this page, click on this. Let's take a common trigonometric formula, sine alpha plus beta. So let's click on this, insert this. We can easily insert. So teacher can just insert this easily, change the values and give the problem to the students. At the same time, teacher can make use of them for revising the formulas. Basically, students might forget the formulas because there will be a lot of formulas they need to remember from physics, chemistry and mathematics subjects. So just once the teachers enter the class, they can just go through the formulas, and students will get repeated with those formulas, and they will be very handy for them while solving the problem in the examinations. Similarly, click on the subjects, geometries. We can add a different geometric shapes, right? If you want to draw as concentric circles, we can draw. It shows the angle, it shows the radius as well, and again you can change the thickness, the color, and what is the central angle, that is how much arc length if you want. Let's say if I want 180-degree circle, so we can see it here, we can change this, right? Similarly, we can fetch the periodic table elements. So I want to fetch an iron, and I want to see what are the valence electrons of iron, and I want to see the atomic number, I want to see the mass number. I will just click on this, the iron, then I would like to see the lifeline, that is oxygen, element 8, then the carbon, that's 6. Okay, we'll click on this, click on insert. We are able to fetch this into the screen. Now once we click on this, here we are able to see the atomic number, its atomic mass, valence electrons, and the distribution of electrons around the nucleus. And then similarly we can have a number line. So this number line system helps the students, when they are learning the rational numbers, or when they are learning the distance and displacement things in the physics, right? So because distance and displacement are the two different things, right? Distance is a scalar quantity and displacement is a vector quantity. There we require a direction as well to convince to the students. Let's say a person going from A to B, then he's coming to A position. So at the time what happens, his displacement is 0 but his distance is not 0. At that time they can make use of this scale, or you can say this number line, to show with the examples. We'll add one more page here, subjects and graphs. Whenever we want to draw a graph, right, so every time we need to put the lines, it will be difficult for the teachers to do that on the board. For that reason we can use this graphs. So let's say linear graph, when we are solving a linear problem. So there will be a maximize and minimize problems. We need to find a best way to draw, or a best way to solve that problem, right? For that reason, this linear graphs, let's say the equation is x plus 6. Once we put these values, so this is a single equation, like single function we have given. We can add multiple functions, x plus 7, let's say, and we can insert. Sorry, this is a capital X, let's turn this to small. Now we are able to see that two graphs, right? Two graph lines. For one is x plus 6 and for the x plus 7. Here, if you want, we can make a duplication of this and we can make an addition to this graph as well. This will be pretty handy for the teachers and convenient to solve the graph problems. Not only linear graph, quadratic, power, exponent and logarithmic and trigonometric graphs can be easily solved, because when we talk about a quadratic, the integration functions basically works with a quadratic, right? And trigonometric, to make them understand what is sine, what is cos and what is tan, this graph's gonna be easier for the teachers to explain in a more effective way. And we can insert this into the board. And let's say last, we'll end the session with a thank you. Add the text. Thank you. It looks like pretty small. Let's increase the font size. Increase the size to 40. We need to select them. Okay, and turn them into bold. Realign this to center. Yes, it's in the center, and we are done. And it's successfully saved as well. So you can see it's syncing. So whatever we do, it automatically gets synced to the cloud. And if you want to share this, we can share this by clicking on this share. Where we can find this, we can go back. Okay, click on the library, click on the slides, the file which we have created. This is a one. Here we are able to see whatever we have created. And similarly, we can create the activities for the students as well. Like when you want to interact with the students, right, in a very fun manner, we can create an activity here so that they can come on the platform and play with the IFPD, and at the same time they will be learning the things as well. We can choose the theme, right? So there are 4 different themes to set up a game, and we'll create this one, right? Fun classifier, you can add a name for this. Let's say metals and non-metals. We need to classify metals and non-metals. So left category I will keep it as metals, right category I will keep it as non-metals. And to classify, we need to put the subjects, right? We need to give an input, what are metals and what are not metals. So first we'll add the metals. So when it comes to the metals, first one is, let's say, iron, copper, then you can say gold. Okay, then coming to the non-metals, oxygen, then nitrogen, carbon. We can preview how it looks like. So students will come on the stage and they will play these games. Metals and non-metals, they need to come and they need to differentiate between the metals and the non-metals. So they will be coming and dropping this. So this is how the games look like. It's done. And this is how we can create the activities for the students. And you can also fetch these activities from the Node Pro application as well. And if you want to connect to the IFPD, click on this interactive display. Okay, go to the connect thing, and 6 digits code we need to put, and we'll be able to directly connect. Along with this, you will be able to share your screen, and you can share the content from the local storage or from the drive as well. And if you want to create, you can directly click from here and you can create your things. Now we are done with this. We can make a sign out from here. Let's click on sign out. Now we are done with the content preparation and what are the features involved in this Bytello class we have seen. Now we'll go to the IFPD and see how we can fetch this content whatever we have prepared by making a QR code login. We have learned how to create a Bytello account, how to log in, and how to create a content using a Bytello platform. Now if you want the same content during the explanation, how to fetch that from the IFPD. For that purpose we need to go to the Bytello class. So let's open the Bytello class. This is how the user interface looks like. Initially it will take some time to load because it's a cloud-based application. It needs to load along with the tools. Once it loaded, we can see the tools and the menu option. So on the corner we can see here the menu. Once we click on this, here we'll be able to see user guide. It helps us to use the Bytello class, and once we click on this about, it will give the technical information related to the Bytello class. Then check for updates. We can check whether there are any updates related to the Bytello class. No updates available. We'll click on OK. And if you are facing any issues with the Bytello class application, we can click on this issue report. And if you want to come out of the application, just click on exit. We'll be able to come out. And once I click on this simple toolbar toggle bar, it's just customize the toolbar. We'll keep it to normal. On the center, we are able to see the icons, select, pen, eraser, and the more tools. In the more, we have a general as well as a subjective tool. We'll be seeing them one by one. Then here we have a pages. We can add the pages there, and we can add a number of pages over there. See, here there is a login icon. Once we log in, a QR code is generated. Now we'll try to log in. So we'll scan this. Here the thing is that the teachers doesn't need to carry any laptop, pen drive for carrying the content. They can just come up with their mobile and scan and make a login and fetch the content. So it takes us to the website. We just need to click on login. We have successfully logged in. It shows we have logged in and we are able to fetch the content from the Bytello class drive. This is a file which we have created earlier, and these are earlier created files. Now if you want to fetch any one of them, we can just click on them and fetch. Before fetching that, we'll see the tools and we'll try to fetch them later. Now the pen. Here we are able to select the different colors. So let's choose a white color, and we can choose the thickness of the pens as well. So let's keep it to minimal. Let's say we are writing mathematics. And we want to underline this with a different color. What we can do is that choose a different color of a different thickness and underline this. Now if you feel like this is something odd in color, we can just undo this and change the color to something else. Or if you want to delete this, erase this, we can erase this as well. This is related to pen and the erase tool. Then how we going to use the other tools? Let's say for an example, here there are shapes, mini board, timer. So first look at the shapes. Here the straight line, dotted line, single headed arrow line and double headed arrow line, rectangle or square you can say, then the curved rectangles like the curved edges rectangle, then circle, then there are other tools as well. These lines, shapes are very helpful during the mathematics physics class or the lower grade class. During the physics class, especially with the light chapters, we'll be studying light as a ray. So there we need to use the ray diagrams to make the students comfortable with the diagrams. We can draw the diagrams using these lines. Let's say if I want to draw a line, the incident ray, so this is going to be my incident ray, so I will write this as an incident ray. We'll change the color white and the thickness, and undo this is an incident ray. We'll mark, okay, and we'll mark with the arrow, and it will fall on some surface. For that we'll draw one more line. Let's say this one, it's falling on this, so just let's move this a little. Okay, now click on shapes. We'll draw a normal line. So this is a normal line which will be perpendicular to the surface, right? So this is how we can easily draw the different diagrams using the lines. And similarly we can use the other tools. Let's see the shapes. And shapes also, if you want to show the shapes, right, let's say rectangle, I can draw this easily. And if you want to change the color of this border, click on this. Let's change this to white. So the the border of the square rectangle has been changed to white. And if you want to fill this with some color, we'll fill this with, let's say, red color. This is white, and we need to choose fill with the red color. We have filled this rectangle with the red color. Let's duplicate this, means we'll get a duplicate copy of this, but I want different color to be filled inside. For that I will click on fill and choose white color. No, we'll choose orange color. Now here, if I want the red color on the top, what we can do is that select this rectangle and bring it to the top, and if you don't want, just delete this. If you want it back, just bring it back. This is how we can play with the shapes. So we'll add one more page here. Then comes the mini board. So how we going to use the mini board, right? So let's say there is a mathematics application or mathematics question. So let's say 24 divided by 96 plus 96 divided by 24, right? So we need to write the answers in the decimal form. For that purpose, we will be initially solving with the fractions itself. So we're gonna take the LCM 96 24. The LCMs will come to be 96 ones are 24 fours are, so 24 ones are 24 and 96 fours are. Sometimes we can do this verbally, or else we need a reference, right? So for that, what we can do, we will make use of the rough, that is mini board. Now a mini board has been opened up. We can change the color of the mini board, that the background. Let's change the pen color to black. So 96 into 4, right? So we can do the rough calculations here. 4 6 are, it's 24, 4 9s are 36, 36 plus 2 is 38. So we have done the rough part, and we can put the answer here. So we'll change the color of the pen to white. So if you want to see that back again, just click on the mini board. We'll be able to fetch that back again. So if you want to come back, click on this arrow and we'll be able to come back. 384. Then we can summarize the answer and we can write it. We'll add one more page. Now then the timer. So the timer will be helpful during the internal examinations or the inter-school competition, or you can say intra-school competitions as well. So students want to make a reference to the time because they will be in a competition, they want to see the time and they want to complete the exams as soon as possible, or when they are competing with their partners, so they need to complete in a quick time, so they can make a reference to these timings. We can set the countdown timer as well as we can set the timer as well. the time will be running here. So we can see how much time the student has taken to complete any of the task with respect to this. When we click this back, we can come to the original tab, and the countdown, it goes the same. We can set for 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, whichever you want. Let's cancel this. Coming to the next tool, the geometry. So here the geometry. Now the two dots, when we connect the two dots, it will make a line. So the same thing we're going to use it here. So I will click on this. If I want to draw a line, I will just draw the two dots. This one dot is here and another dot somewhere I will draw here. Now a line has been created. If you want to change the color of this, just select this. Okay, we have selected this. Change the color of this to white. So this is how we can use this. Then another one, let's say this. Using this, we're gonna draw a shape which gonna have a multiple sides, but just by drawing the dots or connecting the dots. So first dot, second dot, third dot, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and we'll finish up with the last dot. Now we have got a multi sided shape with the angles. Let's select this. Okay, if you want to change the border, change it to white, and if you want to move it, we can move this. Let's add one more page. Then we're gonna choose the circle. We are able to draw a circles, right? So this circle will show us the angle, like this is a complete circle, so it is showing a 360 degree. But if I want to draw an arc of, let's say, 60 degree, so angle I can set it to 60 degree and confirm, and I have got a 60 degree. It's like a pi, right? So when we are teaching fractions, we want to show, right, if you cut a cake into 8 pieces, what is gonna be the angle, particular angle of each cake pieces. So at that time it would be helpful. And if you want to change the borders, we can change the borders as well. Then coming to the next, we have got a cube, a 3D cube. Let's say here we have drawn a cube. This cube can be rotated. Let's say it can be rotated this way, and if you want to adjust the sizes, the height, length, width, we can adjust this as well, and we can fill the faces of the cube. So suppose I want to fill this. I have filled this side with a white color. Now I want to fill this with red color. Let's click on this and fill this with a red color. We can see, we can rotate and we can check. This would be helpful to understand the the objects with the 3 dimensions, right? So basically cube, it has got a 6 faces. So to count 6 faces, we can paint them with the 6 different colors, and we can count the number of faces. This will be helpful in the lower grades. They will be trying to understand what the height, what the width, and what the volume is. At the time, this is going to be very handy. Now we're going to add one more page. Then the ruler. The ruler will be helpful in the class, right? We're going to draw a line. It shows with the dimensions. So let's say we are drawing the line of 10 centimeter. Okay, so we have drawn. If you want to extend the length of the ruler, we can extend, or if you want to rotate, we can rotate. At what angle we are rotating, it will show the angle as well. At a 18 degree, if you want to draw a line, like if the question is draw an angle of 18 degree, so we can draw this very easily. And similarly, we have got a compass. So how to use this compass and ruler if a question is asked? So let's say if a question is there, draw an angle of a 60 degree without using the protractor. So how to do this? So let's take a ruler. Okay, we'll just draw a line of a random length. Okay, random length, okay, whatever it might be, let's draw it. Okay, we have drawn. Now we'll take the compass, sorry, we'll just smooth this aside. I'm going to keep this here and we shall draw the arc. We'll set this, we can set the radius using this. Okay, I think we need to bring this down a little bit. Okay, we are drawing this. We'll keep this aside, then take the ruler, then choose for compass. We have drawn an arc now. Now we'll place this here exactly. These two arcs will intersect each other. We'll move this aside. Now we're gonna rotate this and draw the line. Now we can see that, you know, if we see the angle, let's use the protractor. We shall rotate this. So it is pointing exactly 60. So this is how we can use the ruler and the compass to draw an angle without using the protractor. Let's cancel all this. We'll add a warm-up page. Then there are other tools like the planet. When we use the planet, we can see the 2D and the 3D shapes of this. Let's click on this. Now we are in a 3D shapes. We can rotate and we can annotate over this. So we can show this as a Africa continent. So we can write here Africa. Then I can select, I can move, and I can show this is a India, and I can annotate this. Similarly, we can do this for a 2D shapes as well. We'll switch to 2D. Sorry, we'll select and we'll switch to 2D. So this is a 2D version, and we can move this as well. And similarly, we can do this for the other planets as well. Now we're gonna see the other tools. Let's see the functions, how we can use these functions. So in the functions, we can draw the automatic graphs just by giving the input. So let's say these functions or these graphs basically helpful in the mathematics class or in the physics class during the concepts like LPP, that's a linear programming, where we need to maximize or minimize for any of the problems. There we want to draw the area under the graph. This would be pretty handy because teachers will not be having a resources to draw the graph all the time, because that concept is completely based on the graph. So here we can just give the input. Let's say first equation, let's put it as x plus 4. Then we'll add another function, that's 2 minus x. We have inserted the function. Now there are two graphs. Now if I want to find the area under the graph, let's say this is for an example, this is not a real case problem, this is just for a demo purpose. So we can mark this area under the graph, right? We get the coordinates and we can solve the problems further onwards by just considering this coordinates. And if you want to duplicate this file, again we can select and we can duplicate, and we'll be having 2 copies of it. So we can get a multiple copies and we can erase the previous things as well. So this is related to the functions. Now coming to the next, we have got formulas. These formulas can be made, these formulas can be used to revise the things, like because there will be a lot of formulas in the mathematics class. Once we enter the class, we can just revise the formulas and we can start with the class, so students can remember the formulas for a longer time. So there are different kinds of formulas: script, radical, trigonometric and logarithmic formulas also available. And along with this, we have got a symbols. Whenever the teachers want to create some questions using these symbols, we can use this. Let's say pi, alpha, beta, gamma, lambda, omega. We have got all these symbols and we can create the questions. And here there are the roots, square root, cube, other symbols are also available. Let's get then periodic table. We have got a periodic table here. We can refer to the different elements, their atomic numbers, their mass numbers. Now it's all elements default. Just I want the valence electrons, I will click on the valence electrons and it will show the element name and the valence electrons. Then if I want to check the atomic number, I can click on this, it will show the element with the atomic number. If you want to highlight something, let's say cobalt, we can highlight this. Then here the noble gases are marked here, and the hydrogen, the different, then there are classifications of the elements, right, based on their properties and everything. So these are colored according to that. So teachers doesn't need to carry the different charts for the elements. We can just go here, we can fetch the information. And also while solving some chemistry problems, we do require the atomic mass number, relative mass number, atomic number as well. At the time we can make a reference to this. Then the piano. Some classes or some schools will be having the music classes. So if students doesn't have a piano to learn, they can just play here and they can learn the piano playing. And if teacher would like to give a music theory, so we can give it here. So once we press, the notes will be coming here, the pitch name, and we can generate the music theory here. So this is all regarding the Bytello class, where we will be making the students more interactive and where we're gonna create a more dynamic content using the Bytello class platform. And there is one more thing, that's a interaction. So to understand about the interaction, let's open some of the slides we have created. So here in this, you can ask the students to come and do some activities on the IFPD, or else you can ask them to do from their mobile itself. So how can do they? Let's see it here. So this is a pre-prepared content, so let me go to the last slide. Okay, so here you can see it's a fill in the blanks. We need to drag and drop this. The closeness or a density of a field lines is dash proportional to the strength, so it's directly proportional. So we'll drag and drop this here. Okay, then magnetic lines appear to emerge or start from dash pole to dash. So this starts from north, but just for checking purpose we'll just fill this as south, and here it is north. Then the tangent drawn to the magnetic field lines gives the direction of the what, let's say magnetic field, sorry, it's, yes, we will drag and drop this. We'll check for the answers. So whichever is correct it shows as a right, and whichever is wrong it shows as wrong. Now the same can be sent to the students' mobile. Students can see this or play with this from their home itself. Even though if they are absent in the class, they can do this from their home itself. So how to do this? Click on the interaction. Now students can log into this account, that is study.bytello.com, and put this code. We'll send this current page to the students. So now there is only one student in the class, so the timing is running, and submit, how many submitted we can see. So 0 has been submitted out of 1. So we will wait for the students to answer. So you can move this. Student can also see from like the board itself. Now once the students submit the answer, we can see here it's been submitted and how much time has been taken. Now we can see a student called Shreyas has completed it and submitted it, and 1 out of 1 has been submitted, and we're gonna end this. Exit interaction. So this is a way how we can make the session more interactive by sending these kind of games to the students. We have learned how to create the activities for the students in the Bytello class web applications. There we can create the games based on the grades, based on the subject. Here are the games, some things we have already prepared. We're gonna see them one by one. So here there's a game where the students need to come on the platform and they need to play this game. Let's say find the prime number. We'll play this.
Ready? Go!
So now the numbers will be coming. So the prime numbers, let's say 7, 31, 'So this is how the students can play the game. So the times are. We can see one student has scored the 56 and another student has scored the 76. So this will be interesting for the students, and they can play the games and learn the things as well. So this is one kind of activity, and there is another kind of activity. So let's see that. Here we need to classify multiples of it and multiples of 6 as well. So multiple of 6 is 66 is a 1, 18 again it's a multiple of 6, 72, 96. If you put a wrong one, it doesn't take. We'll put this, then 88, 40, then 104, it's gonna be this one, multiple of 8, 216, 64, it's a square of 8, then 6 9s are 54. So this is how it works. And similarly there is another game when students are learning in the lower grades how to add the things. Now the question is 2 plus 7, it's already 2, we need to add 7 to that. So for that we can show them 2, like from here to here it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So when they add 7, it's gonna be 9. So in the initial stage they learn step by step. So we can play this with the interaction. We need to select and play, right? So it will show, right, 2 plus 7, it's going to be 9. It shows the direction how to add. So similarly we have done the addition, we can do this for the subtraction as well, and we can replay this once again. These are the activities which we can create for the students in different formats according to their grades.